Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching me from. Today, I want to let to rest the remaining part of our topic that we have been treating, which is bondage. And the aspect that I want to talk about, or the type that I want to talk about, is political bondage. Political bondage is that kind of bondage where the electorate, the citizens, government agencies are being caged, paralyzed, and then made to serve the interests of the ruling class. The concerns and the interests of the electorate, the citizens, are not always captured in their policy making. It's that kind of bondage where the ruling class or the ruling party takes charge of every parastatal, every government agencies, takes control of it and manipulates it to their own will and wish, just to protect their own interests. So that is political bondage. And I'm going to explain with examples. You can see the effect of political bondage in election. For instance, in Nigeria, our politicians have manipulated the electoral process. In fact, they are in control of the electoral umpire to the extent that they don't care whether you will vote for them or not. And they can make it public, whether you vote for them or not, that they are going to win. Why? Because they are in charge of the electoral system. The agency that is in charge of election, they are in control of it. So whether you vote or not, they already have the result printed and it's with them. So those who are in charge of election and then so on and so forth are their appointees and are in control of them. They are their puppets. So whatever they instruct them to do, that's what they will do. So you can see that effect, that aspect of political bondage, where even the citizens are being disenfranchised. Even when you register to get voters card, sometimes you will not get it until the election will pass. Some time ago, we saw a video of where voters card were being thrown away instead of distributing it to people that registered for it so that they can use it and vote. They were being thrown away. Is effects of and evidence of political bondage. And you see, because they have made it in a way that most of the arms of government are under their control, they are always in charge. They don't care. They don't care. For instance, they can tell you to go to court because they know even when you go to court, they are going to win, because both the court and those that are in charge of court, which I don't want to mention, are under their control, under their payroll. So how will you win a case against your enemy who is in control of of that arm of the government, which is supposed to be a watchdog? So you can see it in that aspect. So they disenfranchise the electorate. The electoral process is being manipulated. Those that are in charge of election are being manipulated and controlled. Like we saw some time ago in Rivers State, where the governor had to give an order against what have been done in the election. And the returning officer has no option than to obey, because he's at a point of losing his life. And so in Nigeria, we are under political bondage. You can see it in another aspect of it, where they try to make sure they close down every tongue that will speak against the activities. In fact, once you speak against the ruling class and the activities, the ruling party, they'll come after you. You can see that aspect of their attitude and their practice, their manipulation. They will threaten you with fear and so on and so forth, so that all the tongues that would have been speaking for the people will be shut down. Now, you will see it in this other aspect, where every member of opposition party is a direct enemy. It's a direct enemy. It's no longer a fair play game, where people are being threatened because you are in opposition party. Even your properties are no longer safe because you are in opposition party. Your friends and your brothers can no longer have a handshake with you in public because you are in opposition party. And if they have a handshake with you, it will be tagged anti-political, anti-party practices, because they had a handshake with you in public, whereas they are your brothers. So they try as much as they can to make it so tight that opposition parties will not have any opportunity. So you see, we are in political bondage in Nigeria and in many African countries, where the ruling class is in charge of those that are operating with arms, those that are in charge of courts. The court system are being manipulated. Those that are in charge of election are being manipulated. So you can see we are in political bondage in Nigeria. So it's a very critical and a very, typical type of bondage that is so real. So in Nigeria, we're in political bondage. And you can also see it in the other aspect, or the one I call neocolonialism, where our politicians don't have a say on their own, especially on international stage. Bilateral relationship with foreign countries are being manipulated. Any president in Nigeria that takes decision and wants to stand on it against the will and the interest of Britain and America is in trouble. It's in trouble. We have seen it play out, and it happened. You remember the time of Goodluck Jonathan. You remember what happened between his regime and that of Obama. And how, you remember the person that handled the campaign of the late Buhari was the campaign manager of Obama. Why? Because there was a certain level of disagreement between him and Goodluck Jonathan. So, but that will be an issue for another day to look into. And you see, Nigeria is still under the influence of colonial masters. Till today, the colonial masters are benefiting from our natural resources, mineral resources, more than we, the citizens. In fact, the amount of crude oil that is going out of this country on daily basis is even more than the amount of crude oil that is being refined in this country and being used. You see, we're under political bondage. And our politicians, they don't care. When you talk about economic, aspect of it, their policies are not for the benefit of the common or the poor masses. There is no economic policies that is aimed at lifting the poor masses from poverty to a middle class, because poverty is part of their weapon. Poverty is one of their strategies, because when the people are poor, they can always be intimidated and then use money to buy them up for election or during election. Just like most of our youths that are being used during election, and after election they will dump them. Just give them 50,000 and they will go and carry ballot box. And we have seen it play out. They will even tell you, a lot of things. So because they know that poverty is part of their strategies, they don't want the people to come out of poverty. So all the policies, in fact, all the governmental agencies that even helped them during their own time to become what they are today, they closed it up and they made it so tight that it is no longer accessible. All the scholarship programs, all the economic empowerment programs that they experienced during their own time, they closed it up. Today, before you will get a scholarship in Nigeria, it is very difficult. All the small and medium scale enterprises, there is no assistance given to them. What they normally do is they will pick up 1 or 2 persons and then give them 1 or 2 million and use them to do adverts that they have been empowering the whole nation. All the small and medium enterprises have been empowered. You see, we are under political bondage. Check all the policies, all the bills that have been passed at the National Assembly. Check them very well and see if any of them is for the interest of the poor masses. Check. And even when they try to do, they will go at the back door. They will go through the back door and corner all the money they approved for those projects and those alleviation programs or schemes. You see, we are under political bondage in Nigeria. You can also see it. You can also see another aspect of it where they try to clamp down on every individual, every group that will rise to protest. Any form of agitation, they will come directly for you. No protest. They don't want any protests in Nigeria. They don't want any agitation. We remember what happened during EndSARS. It's a tragedy that is still alive in our memory, and some of us that lost our loved ones are still in pain. And up till now, up to date, nobody has been held responsible for that tragedy. You see, every form of agitation and protest, they try to close it down. They come after you with the arms and whatever they have that they should have used to be fighting terrorism and insurgency. They will be using it to fight the citizens who are protesting for the good of the country. See, we're in political bondage. And the only set of people that can emancipate and liberate this country are the youths. But the weapon they are using against us is the weapon of fear and poverty. When you rise, they will take a group of people and give them someone, and they will even start fighting against you. We saw it play out during the EndSARS. Political bondage is real. And I pray one day it will get to an extent that it will no longer be bearable for us, that we will rise and challenge them. Because they know they are powerless, and that's why they are trying to use all form of threat and whatever they have at their disposal, so that they will close down every protest and agitation. But a time will come that they will have no option. And so, political bondage It's a very dangerous bondage that we're experiencing in this part of Africa. In this part of Africa, that if care is not taken, there is going to be a serious awakening in most African countries. There's going to be protests going on. That a day will come that all this political class, all this ruling class will be on the run. If care is not taken, if they don't amend their ways and do some things right, that now that they still have the opportunity, a time will come that they will be looking for where to run to, they will not see. Because there is what we call elastic limit. What we call elastic limit. So when it gets to elastic limit, the people will rise and you cannot stop them. And all of you will be on the run. So I encourage you, if you're a politician, if you're in any position of authority, try to do the right thing. Try to do the right thing. So that you will not be part of the people that will face the judgment. There's always a judgment there, whether you like it or not. So I want to encourage politicians, do the right thing. Whether you're a Christian or not, do the right thing. So that karma will not come after you. So that God will not come after you. Judgment day is coming. Even in Nigeria and other places, other African countries. And so, to add a little to it, is another aspect which I call religious bondage, where people are being mentally drained to the extent that common sense will be taken away from them with the religious teachings that are so ill and so terrible, to the extent that you can have the guts to kill your fellow human being in the name of God. You are destroying what God created in the name of God. And so, it's a bondage where people can no longer dress, the way they are supposed to dress, except they dress like masquerade, because that's what their religion taught them. Except if you don't dress like masquerade, you will not see God. Where people can no longer do the right thing that they feel that is right, except some of those kind of bondage religious activities, extreme religious activities. We call them extremists. Please change, turn your ways, liberate yourself. Where, and especially even in Nigerian politics, religion has a role. Because I've seen that all our politicians, they all belong to one religion or the other. But most of them are not religious enough. They are not. Because during election, they will now come up with that agenda of Muslim or a Christian Muslim. So that they will remember that they are part of religion and then try to use religion to win election. After that, they will forget about it. So it is a time, because most times they will be insinuating that I am a Muslim, so all the Muslims should vote for me, whether I am the right candidate or not. I am a Christian, all the Christians should vote for me, whether I am the right candidate or not. You see some of those religious issues coming up during the election. So that's why I have to talk about religious bondage, where you cannot reason with your senses, with your common sense, and see that this is the right person, even though he's not a Muslim, but this is the right person for the job. And then they will go as far as influencing religious leaders so that they will talk to their followers and then things like that. It is a bondage. It is a bondage. Where you don't have direct relationship with God, and then most of the things you do are things that are being instructed, whether it is good or bad, is being instructed by your religious leader, whether it's living right or not. So I want to encourage everyone, whether Christian or Muslim, try to have direct relationship with God. I'm not here to talk about I'm not yet here to talk about the true or the right. Of course, we know that Christianity is not a religion. Let me make it clear. Christianity is not a religion. Christianity is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. So whichever one you belong to, know that there is a God that is in charge of everything that happens in heaven and on earth, and I will judge every man. So don't allow yourself to be under religious bondage to the extent that you can be used as a tool. Before now, many Christian, pure Christian, born again Christians are not participating in politics. And that was because of the teachings and the preachings they were receiving, condemning politics and then things like that. And they forgot that politics has a way of influencing every citizen, has a way of affecting the activities of politics. It's cut across every citizen and every part of the country. So if you allow all these terrible people to hijack all the posts and positions, then the country is in a mess. That's like we are seeing today. Because most of them that are in charge of political offices are not Christians, and they don't have the fear of God. Most of them don't have the fear of God, so they do whatever they want to do. And why most Christians are not part of politics before now, why most of them were not going into politics, is because of the preaching, the message they were giving, what they were taught. Whoever that goes into politics becomes a sinner, whether you do the right thing or not. You are seen as, when they see you into politics. But thank God for this generation is clear before us, and we are seeing the truth that a Christian can go into politics and still maintain his virtue and still come out unstained. We have so many of them that have served and they are still in faith. Professor Chinedu Nebo is a typical example of them. And then some of them that are still there, which I know that still Christians, they are still doing well, are still going to churches and serving God the way they can. So I want to encourage Christian leaders, preachers, pastors, reverends, bishops, encourage Christians to go into politics. Pure born again Christians, people who have character, who have virtue, they should go into politics. We will vote for them. Today, people are rallying around P2B. It's because of his virtue. People are willing to die for him, both Muslims and Christians. It's because of the virtue he possesses, he carries. So if we have like 100 of P2B in this country, then the country is better. The country will be something else. So let's encourage our brethren to go into politics and retain their virtue, knowing that we are all accountable to God. Thank you and remain blessed. Whichever part of bondage you find yourself or we find ourselves, let's begin to make plans, strategical plans on how to be emancipated. Thank you and God bless you. Have a nice day.